morning, everyone. Good morning, ma'am. So today we will present again the chapter 4, which is talk about the kitchen tools and equipment. So we will start with the day 1. So for the learning objective, we put 3 objectives. First, identify common kitchen tools and equipment. Second, appreciate the importance of using correct tools for specific tasks. Third, handle basic kitchen tools safely. So for the activities for that, first, interactive lectures and visual presentation on various kitchen tools. Second, group discussion on the significance of using proper tools. And last one, hands-on practice with different kitchen tools. For the resources, visual aid under with that pictures and slide. Second one, a variety of kitchen tools. And lastly, safety guidelines handout. So for the assessment strategies, quiz on the kitchen tools and their uses. Second, participation on the group discussion. And last one, practical demonstration on the basic handling tools. So for the assessment tools, multiple choices. So here, a quiz with questions where students use the correct options from a set of answers. So these tools assess student knowledge of the kitchen tools by requiring them to identify and name the different tools and their uses. So the assessments first assessment tools is hit by our first objective, which is identify the common kitchen tools and equipment. So for the second one, observation checklist. So here, a checklist used by the instructors to observe and record student participation and engagement in a group discussion. So these tools assess student participation or appreciation of the importance of using the correct tools. So it was hit by our second objective, which is appreciate the importance of using correct tools for specific tasks. And last one, performance rubrics. So a rubric with a specific criteria to evaluate student handling of kitchen tools. So these tools use measures abilities to safely and effectively handle tools. So for the example of that is a criteria might include uses correct trip, demonstrate safely procedures, and effectively uses each tools as intended. So our third assessment tools was hit with our third learning objective, which is handling basic kitchen tools safely. So for the day 2, we'll represent with Nesh Chala.
Good day. So the continuation of the presentation. This is day 2. I am Jala Maris Lopez. Here are the learning objectives, activities, resources, assessment strategies, and the last one is assessment tools. So the first assessment tools is short answer questions. This is for the cognitive domain. Written questions that require students to explain cutting and chopping techniques in their own words. This tool assesses students' understanding and ability to articulate the techniques. For example, describe the difference between julienne and dice cutting techniques. So the second one is self-assessment form. This is for affective domain. A form where students reflect on their learning and rate their own perception or appreciation of precision and safety. These tools assesses students' self-perceived value of precision and safety in food preparation. So for example, statements might include, I understand why precision is important in cutting, rated on a scale from strongly agree to strongly disagree. And the last one is skills checklist. This is for the objective of psychomotor domain. So a checklist used by an instructor to observe and record students' performance during the cutting practice. This tool measures students' competency in cutting and chopping techniques. For example, criteria might include uses correct cutting technique, maintains safety procedures, and achieves consistent cut sizes. And this would be all. This is followed by the day 3.
Good day. Educational philosophy, perennialism in day 3. So we have here the learning objective. First is identify different measuring tools and their uses. Then recognize the importance of accurate measurements in cooking and use measuring tools accurately. So we have here some activities, and this will be lecture on types of measuring tools and their application. Then group activity, discussing the effect of inaccurate measurements. Then measuring ingredients for a recipe. And these are some resources. We have the measuring cups and spoons. Then we have the kitchen scales. And of course, the ingredients for a simple recipe. Then the next is assessment strategies. So we have worksheet, which is identifying measuring tools, then group activity discussion, and practical measuring activity. In assessment tools, we have matching items, participation rubrics, and observation checklist. Under the assessment tools, we have here the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. So in matching items, description is a worksheet where students match measuring tools with their correct uses. These tools assess a student knowledge of different measuring tools. And the example of that is match the following tools to their uses: measuring cups, measuring liquids, measuring spoons, measuring small amount of ingredients. Then in affective, which is the participation rubric, the description of this is a rubric used by instructor to evaluate students' participation in group discussion. This tool assesses student recognition of the importance of accurate measurements. So example of that is the criteria might include actively engage in discussion, contributes relevant points, and demonstrate understanding of measurement accuracy. Then in psychomotor, which is observation checklist, the description is a checklist used by the instructor to observe and record student performance during the measuring activity. These tools measure student accuracy and proficiency in using measuring tools. Example of psychomotor, which is the criteria might include accurately measures ingredients, uses correct measuring tools, and follow measurement instruction. So those are in matching item, which is the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor under the assessment tools.
So these are the tools that we will use. So in cognitive, there is multiple choice questions. So description, a quiz with questions where students choose the correct option from a set of answers. So this tool assess students' knowledge of cooking equipment and their function. For example of this, which equipment is used for baking cakes? A. Stove, B. Microwave, C. Oven, D. Blender. So for the effective participation checklist, description, a checklist used by the instructor to observe and record students' contribution during the class discussion. So this tool assess students' appreciation for the role of different equipment. For example, criteria might include shares favorite equipment, explain reason for preference, and listen to other opinions. And for the psychomotor performance rubric, description, a rubric with a specific criteria to evaluate students' operation of cooking equipment. So this tool measures students' ability to correctly and safely use the equipment. For example of this is criteria might include correct setup of equipment. So operates equipment as intended and follow safety guidelines.
Good day, everyone. I am Arame Ade Ganon, and now let's proceed to day 5. So, our learning objectives are understand the importance of maintaining kitchen tools and equipment. Second, show responsibility in caring for kitchen tools. And lastly, perform basic maintenance and cleaning of kitchen tools. So our activities are lecture on maintenance tips and techniques, group project on creating a maintenance schedule, and lastly, cleaning and maintenance practices sessions. So our resources are cleaning supplies, maintenance checklists, and kitchen tools and equipment. So our assessment strategies are maintenance tips worksheet, group project presentation, and cleaning and maintenance activity. So for our assessment tools, fill in the blank questions is a worksheet with incomplete sentences that students complete with the correct terms. And also this tool assesses students' knowledge of maintenance practices. So, and second is project rubric. A rubric used to evaluate the group project on creating a maintenance schedule. So this tool assesses students' sense of responsibility and understanding of the importance of maintenance. Just like for example, criteria might include completeness of the schedule, practicality of maintenance tasks, and also team collaboration. And lastly, observation checklist. So a checklist used by the instructor to observe and record students' performance during the cleaning and maintenance activity. So this tool measures students' ability to perform maintenance tasks. Just like for example, criteria might include properly cleans tools, follows maintenance instructions, and also uses appropriate cleaning materials. And that's all. Thank you.